Recently, Nintendo put out Indie World Direct, focusing on games coming out this year, next year, developed by indie developers. It was pretty decent, you know, a couple things that I really liked were there, like we got a release date for Meet of the Hollower, something that I'm super excited for. But something that kind of caught me a little off guard was at the end, they had like one last sizzle reel instead of one last thing, which is like, you know, whatever. But the last game they showed was a game called UFO 50. UFO 50 was definitely like on my radar a little bit. I'd heard of the game. It came out like a little bit less than a year ago at this point. I heard of the game. I've heard great things about it. But it was only on PC at the time, and I didn't really want to play it on my PC. It just didn't really seem like I just really wasn't playing games on PC, so I just kind of waited for it. But yeah, so it was showed in the Indie Direct, and when it showed at the bottom that it said release today, I was like, I couldn't not jump on the opportunity to at least, you know, download it, give it a try, and whew, what a game. My entire week has been UFO 50, and this game is absolutely fantastic. Today, I just wanted to pick out a few games that I really jived with and sort of, you know, talk about them a little bit. And if you like the video, or maybe you want to find out the game, try out the game yourself, you know, that's just an added bonus. So, yeah. I guess my review for the game is I guarantee that there will be at least one game that you sink 5+ hours of real time into, and there will be at least one game that you swear to the mountains and back that is like, this game is so good that it deserves, it could and should have its own like separate release from UFO 50. And like, I mean, that just kind of goes to show how good of a game UFO 50 really is. There's such a high chance that there's a handful of games that you really, really like out of the 50, and I think that makes it worth it. And there's a very high chance that you just like a lot of the games, and it's even better. So I think the game's fantastic, and I'm just going to talk about a few games that I really, really fucked with. So yeah. So the way I played through UFO 50 was that I played through the games in chronological order. That's just a way that they categorize the games. It has to do with some in-game lore reasons that we'll talk about, you know, potentially later. Basically, I just played through the games in chronological order, and if there was a game that I just didn't really mess with, I just kind of skipped it. But Mooncat was the first game that I played 100% through all the way. From start to finish, I did not stop playing this game until I beat it. So everyone has this moment when they first boot into Mooncat where they try to move to the right with the joystick and they move to the left. And they're like, wait, what? So then they try to move to the left with the joystick. And then they're like, huh, wait a second. I'm still moving left. And then they press A and they move right. And then it all clicks for a second. It doesn't make total sense, but that's how it works. Basically in Mooncat, the left side of your controller moves you left, the right side of your controller moves you right, and there are inputs that you can do to basically do like a jump and a ground pound. It's actually a really, really simple platformer, all things considered. From start to finish, it's not the most complicated map design by any means. I mean, it's beautiful. The pixel art is gorgeous. The music is easily some of the best in the entire project. But the map design is not necessarily hard, but the difficult thing is sort of forgetting like the many, many years of traditional platform experience and learning Mooncat's weird world. Like I remember I just was like playing Smash after I was playing some Mooncat after I beat it, and it was so weird to me. I was doing Mooncat controls in Smash Bros, and it was just so weird. And I think that just goes to show like how great of a game it was. The art direction, like I said, is dope as fuck. I don't think I saw a moon or a cat when I was playing this game, but that's okay because it was still beautiful and the music is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, so without going too much into spoilers, once you beat Mooncat initially, you still have 2 more main objectives to go to 100% the game, and that's sort of really when Mooncat opens up, and I think that this game is really special. It's really special. Now, Pingolf is not that weird, actually. It's just a 2D golf game where you just, you know, have 18 holes. You can play it with a friend as well. But I think the real sauce of Pingolf comes from a couple of the X factors. One of them is the art direction. I think that this game is beautiful, but I also really like the dunk button, which is like kind of the main mechanic of this game in terms of like it's a golf game, but they also have this mechanic as well. The dunk button pretty much just spikes the ball straight down, and some of the levels later on are really designed with using it in mind, but the whole game is kind of designed with it in mind, and I think it's a really cool feature that really makes the game feel unique and stand apart from other 2D golf games out there. I also really like Pingolf because it gives me an opportunity to talk about the story of UFO 50, which is a game dev called UFOsoft that had a crazy run in the 80s, made a bunch of classic games. And one of the cool things is sort of the continuity through the 50 games. Like there's sequels, there's references to characters, and really if you look at the overall lore, because really Pingolf is actually just a spin-off sports game for UFOsoft, and I think that's really fun, and like looking at it within that lens, I think that this game is actually just really cool. Like again, it's not the longest game, it's not the, you know, flashiest game in the pack. I mean, you know, 50 other games or 49 other games. But this one just always kind of draws me back. I mean, I just really love the concept of it, and it's just very slick. It's very tight. And yeah, no, this game is great. Like this one's super enjoyable with a friend, but it's also just fun to cherry, fun to gold. So yeah, no, this game's tight. This game's tight. Man, this game slaps so hard, but low-key, it was a little too scary for me. I'm kind of bad at horror games, so my lovely girlfriend played through it while we sort of, you know, watched the game together, you know, worked through the game together. But yeah, man, this game is so good. This game is phenomenal. Night Manor puts all of its eggs in the art bucket and the interactivity bucket, creating an actually pretty tough point-and-click puzzle house where one of the biggest troubles is navigating through it. It's good though. It's a good game. So this game is pretty accessible, and if you do get got by the killer, it just puts you back to the start with all of your items and all the map alterations that you've done so far. So there is like a sense of, you know, scaredness and all that stuff, but like really this game is very accessible, so it's not the hardest game to just kind of go through. But the puzzles are actually not super easy, and there's a couple things that are actually pretty hard to spot. I mean, one thing I will say is, if you think that something is clickable, try using the eyeball on it and see what happens. That's my thing. Try using both the eyeball and the interact button. But this game is really good. I highly recommend you play this game early on, just because me and my girlfriend, when we played through it, we were actually just really surprised about the depth of the game, especially for the cherry requirement. Like, it is long. It is a long game, but it's really fun, and it's definitely one of the best in the pack. Bro, this game is so good. It's like a combination of Punch-Out, Dungeon Master for the Atari, plus like a little bit of Dark Souls elements in there. This game is crazy. It's so genius and it's amazing. It is so good. The art is amazing. The art is so amazing, and the spell casting system with inputs is top notch. It's really satisfying. This one's a long one too. I'd recommend sitting down for an afternoon with a cold one and just kind of enjoying it. Like, straight up, it is so fun. And I don't want to say anything else just because I don't want to spoil it. Just because this game is so good and you should just enjoy it on your own. Gambling is an epidemic in our nation. And every day, more and more kids and young adults get hooked into the world of the predatory gambling scene. This is why I play Quibble Race, where the only predatory thing is me crippling my opponent Glumbo Shido because I need to win this race so I have $10,000 so I can get the cherry. Please. Yeah, but all seriousness, this game rules so hard. I love Quibble Race. This game is so tough. In all honesty, it is not a very hard game. I actually golded it on the first try. It was very easy. But I keep on getting drawn back into this game just because of how fun it is. Like, it just, the satisfying little brain things when the the little brain neurons when your quibble that you bet on wins big is so awesome. It is just so fun. But I keep on getting drawn back in because Quibble Race just has so much goofiness and enjoyability. And it's very simple to understand, but I actually think it's actually kind of hard to master, all things considered. And because it's very luck-based, you don't have full control, which makes it even more hard to like really get a great score. But I have so much fun every time I play around. I really should try the 3-person hot seat mode because that sounds so fucking fun. From gaining insights on Quibbles, to sponsoring them, training them, and either giving them steroids or crippling them. This game is my favorite palate cleanser in all of UFO 50, and I think it's a great game that I'm always going to come back to if I have this game installed on my console, because it's just so fun to play a quick round of this game, and it's great. It's one of the standout chiller games on the pack, and it's definitely one that you don't have to go to first, but if you ever want to check it out, it's definitely a super fun one. UFO 50 on Switch is one of the greatest combinations since PB and Jelly. Being able to play 50 unique, deep, and fun games on handheld or docked makes UFO 50 feel like a natural companion to any Switch user that enjoys indie games.